We are once again, we're at the very lovely, and today it is a sunny corner of Glenwood and Luntz. We are in the heart of Rogers Park in the 49th Ward. We're at the corner of Glenwood and Luntz, up here on the stage at the Heartland Cafe for another edition of the Live from the Heartland Show with myself, Michael James, and my co-host,
Katy Hogan.
Good morning to you, Katy.
Good morning, Michael. It is, I think, the 8th day of Occupy Chicago and maybe the 18th day of Occupy Wall Street. I want to give a big shout out to the young people who have been doing their thing. I really appreciate them being out there. I hope to go and visit them this afternoon.
There's actually an article in the New York Times, I don't know if it was yesterday or today, things blend together, but it talked about the usual protesters, kind of professional people who go to a lot of demonstrations, have been involved, but it's shifting, and now a number of unions in New York are planning a parade.
Right.
So it's catching on, and this is a good thing. It's kind of the next step after the big demonstrations up in Madison and the energization,
sure.
yeah, however you say that, of the American people coming forward and beginning to push from the bottom up.
May I say it's about time?
It is about time.
And so we've got a show today that is a little bit skewed in favor of our guests out there with the cameras. So we have invited the best professional we know in the neighborhood to talk about Obama 3 years in.
And he couldn't make it, so you asked me.
Exactly. The president couldn't make it. So
But he sat in the very same place as you're sitting, Joe. So who knows what will come.
So
My granddaughter just came in.
Oh my goodness, Michael's gonna lose his stuff now. His granddaughter's here. We also, we're skewed in the favor of the arts today. The rest of the show we'll be talking to two of our favorite directors and artistic directors of companies and authors of plays, etc. We have Fred Anzavino, whose brand new Theo Ubuque offering, starting now, just began over at the No Exit Cafe. Again, not got away, 2 great reviews. And then we have Koya Paz, Michael's daughter. You want to talk about what Koya's talking about?
Well, Koya has a new play called The Americans that she's directing and put together, and I get so many emails and Facebooks that are involved with Koya that I don't always pay close attention, but I did get a call from her asking me what I thought about being an American and what I liked about it, and that's when I really paid attention to what's going on. She's got 5 shows coming up, and well, I actually maybe only 4 left. And she's going to tell us about the experience of putting that play together, what it's about, and what she's gleaning from the American people here in Chicago and beyond about what Americans like about their country.
I'm looking forward to that conversation. Joe Moore, welcome again to the stage at the Heartland Cafe.
It's good to be back. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. You have been involved in democratic politics to a degree beyond our city, because
All his life.
those of us who are progressive Democrats cannot stick to within the bounds of Chicago proper, because we don't find our kindred spirits always here, our initial kindred spirits. But to get the bigger picture, I know that you have been involved in national democratic politics, so you are in fact a good person to talk to about Obama and his effect and the reactions to
Well,
him.
it's also based on the realization that the decisions that are made in Washington affect the quality of life here in 49th Ward and in Rogers Park and Edgewater, and you know, you have to get involved. You have to make your voice heard. You have to try to do what you can to influence those policies. Otherwise, you're really impeded in your efforts to maintain and improve the quality of life in neighborhoods throughout the country.
And you've done really good work with that, and you've done, you know, the national breakthrough that is represented by participatory budgeting done on our level here in the ward, which is now expanding.
New York is basically following our model and implementing it in several, what they call districts, not wards, but districts in New York.
Right.
For people who maybe
4 council members are doing it.
just don't know about it, participatory budgeting is something that's been going on in Brazil, some other places where it really is put in the hands of the people of how government money is going to be spent. And not to be a wise, smart aleck guy, but I just wonder what it would be like if you had participatory budgeting in some of the conservative states. Would they have more prisons? Would they take away the roads? What would they do?
Yeah, there'd be no FEMA money. I think they've discovered that in the last couple of weeks. Actually, the budget and how it's spent is going to be the topic addressed by a lot of folks acting out this week at the 10-year anniversary of the war, which of course if we stopped funding, we'd suddenly have enough for education. What a concept. A few other things.
Right.
So talk to Michael and I about if someone said to you, like this list that Michael printed up, what has Obama done anyway? What would you be saying to someone to sort of stand in his defense? And if you don't feel comfortable with standing in someone's defense, say that.
Well, you know, I was asked to come on not to defend the president, but simply to give my analysis. And
there we go.
And it's you know, kind of we're on the stage where many would argue that Obama launched his presidential campaign. Now, it was at the time he was running for the U.S. Senate, but at the time he appeared at a rally here at the Heartland back in February of 2004, no one gave him much of a chance to get elected to the U.S. Senate. And ultimately, we know what happened after that. And David Axelrod always told me that it was the event at the Heartland that he really felt for the first time that there was some movement behind the Obama Senate campaign. So we're here at a very historical place. You know, it's very complicated. Certainly, the symbolism of an African-American man being elected President of the United States is something that cannot be diminished. It gave people...
Nor can we go back. It has happened.
That's right. And guess what? The heavens have been fallen, despite what the right wing says. And I think we have some, you know, while we may not agree with every single policy initiative on the part of Obama or lack of policy initiatives, we do have to acknowledge that he is a very articulate, very intelligent man, very thoughtful man, and certainly that was something that was not, that was clearly lacking in our previous president. And you know, I think we need to first of all acknowledge that Obama did a lot to stem total economic collapse. There's no question that if he had not intervened in the way that he did, we would not be suffering the worst recession since the Great Depression. We would be in another Great Depression.